Today was the day April showed up to do take the photographs of the baler and look it all over and write down what was done to it and what I felt was the problems with it, which there are no problems with this baler. Now, I can't do that yet. I gotta actually close it up here. So, the thing that I talked to April quite a bit about this baler, and and I told her, I said, the baler's great. The baler was really good, and honestly, the pickup was an issue, but it was. It didn't have to be as big of an issue as it was. There was a couple of things, and I covered it already in the other videos about the pickup header and what the problems were. And to be honest with you, the pickup header that I've got on here now is brand new, obviously. It doesn't have an ounce of wear on it. The problem with the old pickup header was that backbone more than anything, splitting down the side like I showed in one of the previous videos. But for the most part, the real pain in the ass was the chain. And I want to talk about this a little bit because, to be honest with you, if they don't give me the price I want, I will be keeping this baler. That's just the way it is. And I will be doing some minor modifications to it to make it work the way I want it to do. I'll probably just convert it over to hydraulic and and just suffer with the way it picks up height-wise. But there's a lot of places in the country that it doesn't matter how high that pickup header picks up because the land is flat, or they're just rolling hills instead of these sharp terraces and things like that I have here and they don't have in other places local, I'd say within Pennsylvania. But for the most part, every problem that I had with this baler was right here on the pickup and the pickup area. The chain is on the side here, and obviously I have corrected this problem, and everything in here is actually brand new. From the hoses and everything, the bearings on the ends of the pickup reel, just all that stuff. And the baler itself it was a wonderful piece of equipment. I mean, it worked really good, except for that header. Now, with the header being completely repaired, I would say I'm confident going into this coming year. If I continue to have it, well, then I'm confident that this year it will go through the hay that I need it to go through as soon as I do those slight modifications. Because I do push the baler pretty hard. I got a lot of extra parts to go back with this thing, or to just keep if I'm going to use it. Now, I really have pretty much set my mind that I'm going to buy the Krone baler HDP, 1290 HDP, over the John Deere, for the simple reason that Krone has been in business building balers successfully for many, many years, where John Deere, we don't know. This is their first year out with a baler that looks like it'll be a performer. The pickup on the Krone baler picks up miles high over the New Holland and even the John Deere. Even though the John Deere picks up really high and is a very simple design, the pickup is actually narrower than what this New Holland is, and even the Krone. So there would be some modifications to the John Deere right out of the box just to get it to eat hay without leaving any behind. And that's that's on me, if I buy the John Deere. But I'm pretty sure that I'm just going to settle with the Krone. Now this baler, knotters, flawless operation. Everything is flawless operation except for that header. And now that the header is new and ready to go, I'm actually almost sad to see it go, because I know that header going into this coming year, whoever owns it, whether it be me or someone else, that header is going to work pretty well flawlessly, especially if it's an alfalfa guy or a guy that's doing a lot of silage baling, where you don't have great big heavy windrows and you're just feeding it. You're not in such a hurry or such a rush to pound it out and maybe push it a little bit harder than it was designed to do. If I do keep this baler, I will be changing over. It's either going to go to a hydraulic system on that header, and alleviate that 15 foot of chain, or I'm going to change out all the sprockets and upgrade it from a 60 chain. Let me get my words right. I've got a 60H chain in there now. I will put a 100 link chain in there. And, you know, it won't skip, it won't jump, and it won't stretch nearly as bad as what this 60 heavy is doing. So I think I'd be fine with that. Other than that, you know, it is what it is. I think anybody that would buy this baler would be more than confident that it will last like it's supposed to. It's just, I've outgrown it maybe, and I'm putting a lot of bales through it, and April was so kind to say that, yeah, a lot of custom guys like these balers and use these balers, and they don't have the problems that I have with them. And I could see that. But she said that I have a lot of bales through it. Well, I don't think I have a lot of bales through it. I've only got 17,688 bales through this baler. Okay, to me, that's nothing. I mean, that thing's just barely broke in. But she was saying that a lot of guys have balers this age and they've only got 10,000 bales on them, you know, or 8,000 bales on them. But she did say that they're running 2, 3, 4 balers to do the job that they're doing. Well, which, okay, I hope this baler goes to one of those guys, because I think they'll be more than happy with it. And, you know, I was talking about setting this thing back to OEM, original manufacturer's spec. Well, and I said it before, this shield here had a lot to do with why this bent with that idler pulley, or that idler sprocket out here. And I don't know if you remember a few videos back, I know the new guys are not going to remember, but I had built this piece here. You see that thick piece in there? I made that. And I'm going to shoot this down the other end. And I'm going to, maybe I'll just go over there. I'm going to crawl under this thing. And if you can see on this one, you see they're just tabs where those bolts are? Well, those tabs had broken off. And that's what caused that piece to actually bend. Because this sprocket, that idler sprocket, had nothing to hold it on. Once those tabs had broken off in here, that just left that floppy all the way back. And just, it was just a disaster waiting to happen when I got into real heavy material, and it just, all that stress caused this thing to bow out and get destroyed. So when I built this piece, I did not have to build, and you can see that this stud, or this stub here, is not on, it's actually over this plate. So when this plate is bolted with those 5 or 6 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts there, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, there's 5 bolts, I know there is. Where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 bolts. There's 4 bolts that hold that on there. There's nothing. Plus this piece here, it is bolted solid. So technically, if those ears had never broken off of that guard, this header would have never bent. Now, when Messick's came out last summer, not this past summer, but summer of 2014, and put the other frame on that I just replaced, they never welded the tabs to this piece of steel, and I didn't catch it, and immediately within 10 acres that new pickup frame had already been bent, and that stub where that idler sprocket is was already bent and out of shape, and the frame was doomed. So now, with everything that I know and everything that is done, it is true and straight and proper, and it's built heavier than the original manufacturer. So whoever gets this baler is going to go to the field, and they're going to say, boy, I don't know why this guy had all these problems, because I'm not. And it is because of that. And I did fix that. And that piece that I welded on the inside on the other frame is not going to break. It's not necessary because of the piece that's on that shield there over the top auger. I never had any wrapping issues with this baler at all on that top auger. A lot of guys I know did with the older model. I know I did with the older 340 standard. And yeah, so if you're looking to buy a damn good baler that has had all the repairs done, I'm not selling this baler because I don't want to run it another year. I really don't want to run it another year, but I keep my balers for 2 years. It's generally the way I work. After 2 seasons, I'm ready for a new one, and if this was only a year old and I just did all these repairs, I would still keep this baler for next year. And I'm really seriously, heavily considering keeping it for another year if they don't give me the right price for it. I have a number in my head, and I know what I want, and I know with all the effort that I've put into this, I have about $10,000 in parts, not labor, in parts in this baler to make it right. Between the $3,500 in the header and the thousands of dollars in that brand new clutch there, I'm looking, well, not 10,000. How much have I got? Chain, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 8,000, almost $9,000 in parts right there in this area. And that's new. That's right now, $8,000 worth of brand new parts in that baler going into this coming year. So whoever gets it, gets it. But anyways, if you're interested in the baler, it will be at Messick's. And I'm going to walk back here because this is where you can buy this thing. You can call April, you can call Scott, you can call any of the guys down there, or gals at Messick's. And there it is. There's the number. It is the Elizabethtown one. None of these, but the Elizabethtown one. That's where this will be at, hopefully. And yeah, give them a call. And if you like the baler, I'm sure they'll ship it overseas to you guys that were saying you'd love to have the baler. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.